All right, so here we're going to take a look at some properties of relations. Right now, properties kind of let us predict the behavior without having to look at every single pair in a relation. All right, now three major ones that we're going to look at. So, properties of relations. Right. The first one is reflexive. Okay, so a relation is reflexive, right? If we have if A is an element of R, right? A relation. All right, for all A in the set A. Okay, so in other words, every element is related to itself. A good one to think of is this less than or equal to, right? So if we're dealing with two numbers, right? If that number is the same, this always holds, right? 3 is less than or equal to 3. Okay? All right. So that is one of the properties here. All right, now another property that we'll be interested in is this idea of symmetric. Right, so R is symmetric. So the relation R is symmetric. If whenever AB is an element of R, then BA is an element of R. All right. Now, in terms of graphically, so every directed edge has a matching reverse edge, which means that essentially what that means is we can draw it as an undirected graph, right? So graphically, if we think of the vertex, right, symmetric means that it goes here and here, but really we can just think of that as drawing it as our standard, our simple graph, like this. Okay. Now another example of symmetric is the within 3. Where here if we have a, so within 3 means that almost like a distance, right, less than or equal to 3, right? So within means that if this is true, then b minus a will also give the absolute value of that will give us 3, right? Because when you switch it around, then you'll get the opposite sign, right, the same magnitude, but the absolute value just kind of eliminates that. So that would be a symmetric type relationship, right? So the strictly less than, right, if we think of A less than or equal to B, this will not be reflexive because we could say, all right, 3 is less than or equal to 4, but 4 is not less than or equal to 3, right? So it's not reflexive. All right, and then the third one is the transitive property. So transitive, R is transitive. If, whenever, AB is an element of the relation and BC is an element of the relation, then AC is also an element of the relation. All right, so examples, we can do the A less than or equal to B. Right, so here if 3 is less than or equal to 4 and 4 less than or equal to 5, then transitive allows me to say 3 less than or equal to 5, which is true. Okay. All right. So those are some just examples of some properties of relations here. All right, so the next thing we're going to look at is, well, what happens when a relation has all three of these properties,